It was just little, I think, just little things that people introduced me over time, you know? And I think, so the first step was, you know, a couple years before, the person that I was dating introduced me to her naturopath, said, "Hey, you should go see my naturopath." Right. And I went and they introduced me to a couple things that made me feel better. And so I was like, okay, so that was say my first introduction. And then, you know, bodybuilding and doing things in the gym, you know, kind of started learning healthy, you know, not quite, but like compared to what I was doing, you know, I started getting into the more healthy eating and things like that. And then, like I said, when I kind of went through that, that kind of breakdown where, you know, my health was just kind of a mess. I decided to go to a naturopath because I had created that relationship from before. And it was through them doing different kind of holistic things that kind of got me interested a little bit more in nutrition and interested in these other things that we can be doing. And so I would read more. And that's kind of how I found holistic nutrition. I was just Googling and reading an article, and it was written by a holistic nutritionist. And I was like, what's holistic nutrition? And then a college popped up and I found myself meeting with them and just kind of went for it.
That's awesome. So where was the course? Was it in Vancouver?
It's in Vancouver. Yeah. The Institute of Holistic Nutrition.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So super transformational experience. Obviously I went in because I had a curiosity and newfound kind of passion for holistic health, but it ended up being transformational in so many ways I didn't expect. You know, I think one of them just being the only guy in a program with all women.
Were you?
Yeah. That in itself was very healing because it kind of completely changed my relationship with women. Right. Yeah. So that was a big healing.
I do notice that it's funny because I myself did a nutrition training as well, but not the 1 year like long one. I did a short kind of like, I think it was 3 months. But similar, every time I went and I show up for like the kind of starter weekend, I'm like, I'm the only guy here.
Yeah.
It's just kind of funny how little guys get into that kind of stuff.
Totally.
But no, I think that's awesome. And I guess I'm curious too about the course. What did it look like being a year long? Like, did you go into the class, like a class every day?
Yep. So it was on campus. It was like, and I had my group that I kind of went through the whole program with.
How many of there were you?
I think it was a class of like maybe 20, 25.
And all girls?
Yeah, I was the only guy. And so, I developed some really great friendships. And like I said, I think it really kind of checked me in terms of, up to that point in my life, I think there was a certain part of me that if I was going to be in a room with 20 women, I would feel the need to kind of peacock a little bit and present myself a certain way. And I think just by nature of the course, number one, why I was doing the course was because I needed an overhaul in my life. And then the course itself being about holistic healing, I think it just kind of stripped me down to kind of just how to just show up authentically and how to just be myself. And that then translated into just developing some very real friendships and relationships. Yeah.
Well, that sounds awesome. Yeah. I like the idea of having the in-person course. I know a lot of people will do the online versions. Like there's tons of online like holistic nutrition courses and things like that. And the one I did was predominantly based online. But I think it's a lot cooler to be able to be in person and like build those relationships. So yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, yeah, I can't say enough about it for me. It was a very healing experience. And I think just going through that too, being around like-minded people who obviously are on their own health journey or have been on a health journey, right? It kind of brings a certain kind of person to that program.
For sure.
So it just allows you to connect. And up to that point, I'd felt kind of isolated because, you know, the part that people don't talk about is when you do go on any sort of personal development journey, personal growth, healing, whatever you want to call it, it can be isolating because if you're not surrounded by other people that are on that journey or understand that journey, you kind of feel alone. Because even the simple stuff of like when I started really paying attention to what I was eating, even back when I was in that corporate role, showing up in a board meeting and they're all ordering, you know, pizza and whatever for lunch. And I'm bringing my little Tupperware of like chicken and broccoli and stuff. And you just get kind of ridiculed and kind of made fun of and stuff. Like it's funny now, but like at the time, like that's hard. Like it
Hmm.
takes courage to, so I think anytime people are trying to make changes in their life, it's important to kind
Hmm.
of have that community of people.
Yeah, for sure. No, it helps a lot. And like, I think too, especially like the holistic thing can be hard. I think people, there's still a lot of ridicule, like you say, um, around it, or people don't understand it, or they think it's fake, or
Hmm.
whatever it is. So I think
Absolutely.
it's definitely can be a hard path to go down without the people around you.